Well, this is a bit of an improvement over the last set of parts I had. And if you guessed what we're doing today, you're probably right. I got tired of waiting, so today we're building a computer. I'm Alex, and welcome to the Renaissance Builder. So yes, I've been sitting on these parts for a while, especially if you have been watching these videos, you have noticed that I have been sitting on them for a while. And I wanted to do things a lot differently. I wanted to remodel the room and start the computer off as like a new, more professional looking series and all this kind of stuff. But you know what? Budgets suck and everything costs money, so screw it. We just got to get this thing done. So enough of the chit-chatting. Let's get to building, shall we? Alright, so instructions. You know what? I'm going to take this opportunity. So we got our trusty iFixit kit here with some lint on it, apparently. And, instruction. I was going to use the wow stick. So yeah, I was totally going to use the wow stick, but the battery went and shit the bed on me. I swear to God. That thing's a piece of crap all around. Like, I was actually going to try using the thing, and then, so I put it on the charger, and then I go to use it, and it's like, beep, no, battery's gone. Yay! Yeah. Alright, so, I'll be honest with you, the packaging's a bit underwhelming. We got a whole bunch of pieces and parts just kind of scattered in the box with a couple cardboard liners around it. So yeah, that's a bit disappointing. Well, there you have it. It's assembled. I have lots of extra pieces. Now, mind you, all these pieces are for mounting hard drives, 3.5 and 2.5 inch hard drives. There is a bay in here for spinning disk hard drives, so we've got little mounting brackets for solid state drives. Then there's a bay in here that looks like it'll hold 3 standard spinning disk hard drives. And then there's a bunch of brackets here for optical drives, like the CD players, I don't know, whatever, 3.5 floppy, find that. I don't need them, not using them, I don't need them. Everything, all the hard drives on the computer we're building are M.2, so they're on the board, and but I don't need anything else. There's an extra bracket for a motherboard support, so all that, I'm not a fan of this thing, being dead honest with you. So let's just go over, for starters, there's no screw organization. They just give you a couple bags full of screws and you have to separate them out. So if you're going to build this thing, separate out your screws. Like, just go right ahead, dump out all your screws, separate them. iFixit gives you this handy little tray with that's webbed, so you can just, you know, separate everything right there. So that's handy. Thank you, iFixit. But there's like 4 or 5 different kinds of screws that go into this, and I guess that's nothing new to these cases. Mind you, I've never actually built a computer in a case. Not that I've even built that many computers. I'm not some kind of, you know, tech genius or anything. This computer is in a fish tank. I custom made that, you know, assembly out of Lexan, and the only other computer, other than, you know, small tinkering, the only other computer I've, well, modified is my old XPS 410. That's going back a ways. This monitor still comes from that thing, by the way. 1080p monitor, Dell, from, ooh, that thing's old, and it still cranks it like a... Anyhow, maybe that's why the color, maybe that's why my color saturation in these videos is so terrible. The monitor's terrible. Whatever. So let's just go over this thing. I don't like it, but, you know, we'll go over the features. So, for starters, this is your motherboard tray. So, you know, obviously there's lots of different little mounting holes in here to put your standoffs. So you would screw your standoff into there, and then you would put the motherboard on, and that's selectable because each motherboard's going to take a different layout for standoffs. So that's kind of selectable. So when we get the motherboard out and then we know which holes we need, then we'll put the standoffs in, and then we can screw the motherboard down. There's a hole right here. I guess it's kind of convenient. Actually, it will be convenient when I go to change the bracket assembly for the CPU hold down, heatsink hold down. So if I have to change that, that's convenient, having a hole right there. Your slots here to hold your video, your graphics cards, or any other extra cards. This bracket up top is just, I guess, a grab handle. Now, again, right down here, we got room for hard drive bays. This is the back side. So, on the back side, we have a slot for your power supply, which I'm probably going to try, since this power supply is going to be going into that computer. If this channel takes off and we actually do more stuff, then I may need to get a dedicated power supply for this assembly, assuming I use it that long. Other than that, you know, hard drives, power supply, video card bracket, motherboard, all your extras if you want to mount solid state drives or optical drives or any extras that go in the 3.5 bays. Around the front, the back is actually more interesting than the front. They actually give you a power button and a reset button. That's convenient, I guess, but the motherboard's right here. It has a power button on it. Whatever. They actually do give you a little speaker buzzer. That's nice, I guess. It gives you a post beep. You got the cables here for your, your remote power selection and the reset. So yeah, that's it. Pretty basic. You know, it's no frills. You're not paying for an elaborate piece here. It's just aluminum sheeting. You know, there's nothing fancy about it. But it'll get the job done for what we want to do, because we're going to do a lot of experimenting with this thing. I mean, it's even as much as like they give you a little bracket to support it in case it gets off balance. Like, can we be any cheesier? Like, cheap. Like, why not just put a little gusset here, you know, so your feet can be wider. That's all it would take, is a little gusset right on the bottom. But no, whatever. So, no frills, no fancies, but this is what we're using, and I'm going to be happy with it, because it's what I got. Happy, right? All right. So, again, gonna make this a few parts, because this took up a good bit of time, and even though it's a fast forward, I don't want you guys sitting here going, oh my god, that's a 20-minute video putting this thing together. So, you know, whatever. This is assembling this part. Moving on, next part, we're gonna start mounting the equipment inside this here. You know, probably start with I'm gonna start with the power supply to give this a little bit more weight and stability. But we'll put the power supply in, then we'll start working on the motherboard in upcoming videos. So, if you guys actually want an inexpensive test bench, go for it. It's great. You know, I give my blessings to it. It'll work. It'll do the job. Just no extras or snazzies or frills. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. As always, I appreciate it. Make sure you're subscribed for the following videos, putting the power supplies, talking about the power supplies, installing that. Then we talk about the motherboard and everything that's going on in that motherboard. That means all the updated equipment and you know, latest and greatest way to do computers. So make sure you're subscribed and hit that bell icon for the future videos coming up. Throw a thumbs up in there if you like this video. I hope you did. I'd really appreciate it if you threw a thumbs up in there. It would really help. Again, if you guys actually want to support this channel, I'm over on Patreon. Look up The Renaissance Builder on Patreon, and you can actually subscribe and help support the channel. There are things coming up, raffles and stuff coming up that we're going to start doing, and I'm going to try experimenting with that. So, you know, that'll be the reward-based system for being on Patreon. Otherwise, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your time. And I will see you in the next one. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.